Fellas, what's going on? Welcome back to another stream. We're gonna do some more chess. We're keeping it nice and chill because I have a football game I'm trying to get to. So so that football game starts at like 8:15, and I think I have some plans, but I wanted to get a little bit of a stream going on before I just hop shit because I won't be on tonight. I will not be on tonight. Get my music right. Where's my music? There it is. Making the wrong music quiet. There we go. Chess. In 3, 2, 1, let's go! Fellas. Alright. I am wearing the Pat Fryermuth jersey. My Steelers are playing the Texans tonight, so we'll see how they do. Let's get things started with a slow 15-10 game. Nice slow 15-10 game. We get the black pieces, so that's nice. I feel like I'm more prepared to play with the Carol Con of some variation, but he's doing that, so we're gonna go with the modern. We're gonna go with the modern defense. Keep it simple. We won't keep it simple. Keep it simple, stupid. Where is my... Don't know where my one screen went. I must have exited out of it all. That's okay. Let's just develop the bishop. Okay. I think we'll just take. Yeah, Steelers versus Texans tonight. Texans have a pretty good defense. So I've been told. But I mean, we got Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers in the postseason, pretty good. So he is a bit older than what he used to be. I think we got a shot. I think we got a legitimate shot. Hopefully all your teams have won. Hopefully all your teams have made it through to the next round. Hopefully. I think we'll go here. Just gonna kind of entice him to push d5 and then move my knight over here on this square. And then maybe entice him to push this, and then maybe I'll just reroute the knight. Okay. Maybe do some pawn pushes over here, because what else are we gonna do here at this point? I'll bring the rook over maybe, and then push this pawn. We could maybe push the pawn now, and trade off some queens. Could be a move. I think that could be a move. Let's go ahead and let's just do this. A6 usually seems to be like a pretty safe option. Blocking the square from him being able to swoop on in there. Yeah, short stream tonight, fellas. Very short stream. We're just hopping on for an hour, maybe two, and getting ready for the Steelers game. So excited. So excited. Let me move my queen over here to prep for b5. Kind of want to keep this rook here for when I push this pawn and like take, and I still have this rook attacking the a file, keeping control of it. Okay. Maybe we'll drop the knight. We'll have two attackers. I mean, he has two defenders, but I don't want to get in this situation where I have to move the knight that's guarding my pawn, and then he gets to snag that for free. So Maybe we'll move this. If he pushes here, we might just counter like that. Kick the bishop. And then if he takes, then we just obviously take. And if he doesn't take, if he drops back, then we have time to move our knight somewhere. That's a interesting move. I wasn't expecting that. Not in the slightest. I'm half tempted to take, but that's probably just a bad move, right? Because they're going to be opening up the king side. So I'm not going to take. If he takes, I guess I'll just capture outward rather than inward. If I capture outward, then I get the rook. I get the rook. Maybe we push now. We push, kick the bishop off, and we push this pawn again. Then we'll have a nice little pawn kind of trifecta going on. Pawn pyramid. I like that idea. Kind of like that idea. And then once we figure out this pawn situation, I think we'll want to push this pawn over here and start some sort of attack. Wow, that is wildly aggressive. So the idea is if I take and he takes back, he'll be able to double up and stuff. But I think I'm gonna traditionally when I get to a situation like this, I take it. I'm not gonna do too much. I'm not gonna overthink it too much, and I'm gonna put the onus on them to prove it. Prove it to me that bishop sack was worth it. I don't think it is. I mean, it very well could be, but now he has some work to do. He's going to be down on the minor piece. Yeah, he can take a pawn. I mean, he's going to be down 1 point of material, but he has to work for it. My king is a bit more exposed, but we'll see. We will definitely see. If he takes, too bad I don't have this, right? Too bad this wasn't another dark squared bishop to defend this. But we can do this. We can do this. Kick the queen. Maybe I kick it with the pawn, but then I'm kind of locking up my bishop. My bishop will be just a pawn essentially. I'm not sure if that's really in our best interest. Maybe we just take this pawn, but that seems like kind of a bit too slow. Pretty aggressive, but might be too slow. Let's see here. Looking at bishop f6, or maybe just h6. I feel like with h6 he just drops over here, but then he can't really go anywhere. This pawn's not going anywhere. My bishop will be defending that pawn. That might honestly be a fine move. So yeah, let's just push the pawn. Bringing the rook over, like he can't capture his own piece. So not taking this pawn might be in our best interest because then he can't have this like big attack. You know what I mean? But if I had taken that pawn, then he could just double up his rooks and start forcing his way through. Not taking the pawn there seems to be like a pretty solid idea. Okay, so yeah, he's threatening our knight here, but we can move it and threaten his queen. That could be an idea. We also have two attackers on this pawn. He only has one defender. But we don't want to just hang our knight, unfortunately. Yeah, there might be an idea. Let's bring the knight over. If we bring the knight over, he can't like kick it away. He has to move his queen because we're threatening the queen. So, but if we do bring the knight over, he does have queen e6 check, which could be annoying. And then he'd be like, no, this pawn's guarded. I think we're fine with this. I think we're fine if he checks. We just walk over. And then he doesn't really have much else from there. His queen is in my territory and not really defended well. So I don't think it's the biggest deal. Yeah, so I don't think queen e6 check is necessarily the biggest deal. We just walk out, and then like his queen is just, yeah, it's on an annoying square, but he can't really walk it. I'm pretty well guarded and defended. Not taking his pawn here I think is pretty solid because he can never bring his rook over to just gobble and, you know, push himself in. He's gonna think and just end up putting me in check just because he can, but yeah, I'm not worried about that check. I think we're a-okay. Yeah, so the only good move here would just be to walk the king out. Can't take this pawn because it's guarded by the knight. Too bad the knight wasn't here because we have two attackers on this pawn. He only has one defender. It'd be nice to take. This right now, but I can't because he would just gobble it. But I wonder if there's a tactic, because then if I move my knight somewhere, which is not there, but if I move it, I would be threatening that, but I can't move this knight and threaten two pieces at the same time, unfortunately. That's okay. Yeah, I don't really think I care if he pushes us forward. I feel like that's a-okay. Don't think I need or want to push this pawn. You can make a case for it, because then I could bring in a little checkaroonie. You might want to think about offering a trade to queens or go back to where our original plan of pushing this b7 pawn, getting a counterattack on this side. Also have to be careful. If he pushes his pawn, he's going to push the only piece that's defending my backwards pawn here. So I might want to take care of this queen now. We can threaten the queen like this. Not really, because then he would just take her pawn. So yeah, I really do like queen c8 here. And he'd have to trade it because like he can't go anywhere, right? So yeah, let's force a trade of queens. I'm definitely okay with a trade of queens here. Question is, which one do we want to capture back on with? Probably the A rook, because our F rook is kind of keeping a control on this F file. So I'm just gonna go pre-move. A rook captures C8, or it would be rook A captures C8. I think it's rook A captures C8. Okay, I think we just take the trade. Bringing his bishop there might be annoying because he can just kind of lock it up right there, but don't think that's a really too big of a deal. I can always kick his bishop out with my knights eventually. I might honestly move my knight here and threaten to take these pawns. Or do we want to threaten the bishop by bringing our knight back? I wonder if we should be considering finally doing our pawn push idea. I think I'm okay with chilling out. We have to clear out, like, I have to clear out these pieces before I'm really interested in progressing on my own attack, my own thing. This kind of sets up a nice, like, reroute of the knight if I can draw arrows. Plus, it's doing us a solid over here. You can easily defend that by just pushing or something, but let's figure that out. So I'm going I'm going to move a knight. I'm not sure which knight and what I want to do exactly. Let's go with this idea. Even though I'm moving my knight on the rim, which is dim, the idea is I'm gonna bring it to a more active square and then harass his bishop. Plus, it opens up a double attack on this D pawn of my opponent. Daniel Barry, happy Monday, everyone. How's it going, Daniel? We got a big Steelers game later, so I'm trying to get the stream in here nice and early so I can have time to watch that with the fellas later. But I accidentally last night said, I think I'll be on tomorrow. I'll be on tomorrow. I'll see you guys tomorrow. And then today I woke up, I'm like, wait a second, what was I talking about? We have a Steelers game, a playoff game to watch. Fingers crossed that we're actually able to pull through. The Texans have a really good defense this year. Steelers are the Steelers. They just limp into the playoffs and then they just first round exit. So I'm being kind of pessimistic about my own team. I think it's a healthy, like, self-deprecating thing that some of my friends don't like. They're all in for it. Pittsburgh's going to the Super Bowl, this and that. I'm trying to bring it down a notch and, you know, lower the expectations so that we can't be disappointed. But we'll see. It'll be fun. But for now, we're playing chess. Okay, that's nice. It's nice that he's well, I guess he's not actually stopping my idea of moving my knight around. But he did stop the idea of gobbling up this pawn. So I do need to move the knight. And this is like the only square I'm really considering because I don't want to just move it back to where I just moved it from. So let's go ahead and do that. Doesn't seem to have any threats at the moment. And fingers crossed. This is nice that our opponent sacked their bishop early on. That's why we see this kind of weird structure over here. So we should be able to pull this out. I haven't won a 15-10 rapid game in a while. I've been losing these more than anything, so I'm really hoping that I can finally convert on one of these things. Growing a Bloxy farm. A Bloxy farm. Is that a Minecraft reference or something? How's it going? Nice to meet you, fella. Really hoping that we can convert this into a win because I'm overdue for a win on this time control. Definitely overdue. We have similar time on the clock. Usually I'm doing a little bit better too. I find that when I overthink the early to mid game with my moves, I tend to go down these different lines right incorrectly and then I start losing and it's like, well, great, and then I'm down to like a minute left on the clock and my opponent still has 15, like their entire clock because they've just been blitzing it. But if I just kind of trust my instincts, I think I'm decent enough to. I have to kind of trust my instincts through the middle, to the opening and the mid game, and then just don't hang my pieces. If I just don't hang my pieces, I think I'd be fine. Oh, growing a Bloxy farm. You think we can play? Absolutely. I absolutely play viewer games. We'll get you in after this one. Here, are we friends on chess.com yet? I'm not sure if we've played before, but my username is Big Breakfast. If you add Big Breakfast, oops, I spelled that wrong. It's 1B. It's 1B. If you add Big Breakfast on chess.com, we can definitely get you in on the next one. His knight's guarding that, his rook's guarding that, so I can't go to either of those. Can't go there. This, would going there and like rerouting my knight to do an attack like this be worthwhile? Now, I think we have to work on our idea here. What's better, taking with the bishop or the knight? My instinct says my knight, because then I'd have 2 knights on this square. So let's go with that. Let's go with that, fellas. I mean, we'll consider bishop real quick. We take with the bishop. I mean, yeah, we could put him in check and stuff. But yeah, I think we're going to go with the knight, fellas. We're going to go with the knight move here. Knight to d4. Because now our knights will be able to work together. One of them can move up to e2. And that might be a very good thing for us. Not sure which knight we would move to e2, because if we move this one, it allows him to push his pawn if he wants to, which he can't really right now because I'm... Wow, okay. We don't have to take that. We could put him in check with this knight, or we could move this knight out of that way of that knight and put him in check still. Which is better? Put him in check. Where is he going? Well, if we put him in check with this one, this knight guards this square. He might be tempted to walk in closer. If he does walk in closer, what would we do? Or we can go with our original idea of like rerouting our knight in a weird way, but his knight is now guarding that. If we take, he will likely capture this way. If we don't take, he just gobbles up a pawn. So maybe we like put him in check and then push a pawn. He's threatening both of these pawns at the same time though. So we might have to just take this, fellas. But we can take that. He can capture back either way. Then we have 2 attackers on this one pawn. He only has 1 defender, so I'm okay with that. I'm Planet Lord 3000. Okay, yeah. Yeah. If you add me, I'm sure I'll find your... I bet I have a notification there already. We'll play you next. Growing a Bloxy farm. Next on the list of games, of matches. First viewer game of the night. First viewer game of the night will be after this, fellas. Okay, so I think we're just going to snag that pawn. We should be a-okay. Don't see any crazy threats. If he wants to capture, I'm definitely down to capture, because then we get to, you know, we're a solid 3 points ahead because of that bishop sack that he had earlier in the game. I asked him to prove it to me, like prove it to me that was a good sack, and I think we're finding out that it wasn't a good sack. I think we're finding that out. Okay. All right, I think we just walk it back. Don't have any other good squares to take it to, so we'll just take it back to e5. We could, I guess we could take it back there too, because we are defending it, but this seems better because now I have access to this square. I'm also attacking the bishop. If we had brought the knight back here, even though it's defended, so we're not worried about his rook taking it. If we had brought the knight back here, like, doesn't really have any good squares to go to. All right, we might want to consider pushing this pawn and trade and start marching things up. Can we consider this knight move? Would that really do anything for us? Yeah, it would give us 2 attackers on this B2 square. That's for sure. That is for sure. But it likely just walks into that. And nothing's there in this square, so I can't bring my knight over like I would like to threaten the rook and the bishop. So, or we could bring the rook over and push our pawn. No, that wouldn't do anything because he has 2 attackers and we only have 1 defender if we bring her. If we bring our rook up, have 2 attackers on this, but that's easily guarded by just bringing one of the rooks over. Plus, I'm not sure if it's in our best interest to take this pawn ever, because once we take that pawn, he just has to line his rooks up, and he'd have a pretty strong open file here. So honestly, keeping his pawn alive and blockaded by my bishop, this is just kind of like a safety net for me. This nice little safety umbrella. I think we're fine with that, just hanging out for like ever. Do we do C6 or do we just skip ahead? There might be an argument to skip ahead, and then I'm sure he'll en passant, and it'd be the same thing. I'm down to skip ahead. I'm really down for that. Let's do that. I don't think he's threatening really anything. So let's do that. Let's see what he does. Fellas, we might see our first en passant on stream. And then it's not so obvious. Do we want to take back with the pawn or do we want to take back with the knight? I imagine the pawn. But honestly, maybe not. Because if we take back with the knight and then, well, we can't ever put our rook on the C8 square because his bishop is defending that. But the idea of if his bishop wasn't here, then bringing our rook over to, pardon me, fellas, to threaten the king would be a nice open file to have against this king. But yeah, I think just capturing back with a pawn is probably best here. If he ever en passants. Hopefully all your football teams have won this weekend. Then we had 3 games last night. I didn't watch any of them. I was away, but and I'm also I just care about my Steelers, really. Maybe I'll watch the semifinals or whatever you call it. But man, Steelers Texans is gonna be a tough matchup. It's gonna be a tough matchup. I'm hoping that we get the clutch version of Aaron Rodgers. Hoping to see maybe a TJ Watt, like, you know, defensive splash play of some kind. Hoping to see a couple maybe interceptions would be really good for us. I feel like our defense for the Steelers just live or die by splash plays. We're not very good. We might have the highest paid defense in the league, but we do not have the best defense in the league by far. I do like my position. It helps that we're up an entire minor piece. That feels like kind of a nothing move. It's not going to really help him. He just opened up the F file for my rook. And honestly, I could just bring my rook on the 7th rank, and that'd be very nice for me. I can also bring it here on the 6th rank. Offer a trade of rooks. But I do like bringing it on up. I think we're going to take that, and then we'll figure out what we're doing with these pawns and pushing and that sort of thing. Yeah, let's do this, because now it opens up when we move our knight to attack this pawn, which has a double attack with our bishop. It's triple attack now because of our rook. So we are looking really pretty. That was a bad move on his part. His pawn, his bishop, I mistakenly called it a pawn because that's essentially what it was. It was playing it a pawn. But more importantly, it was, with his bishop here, it was stopping my rook from being able to access this file completely. So him doing this, thinking like, oh, this is a nice little thing. It's blocked. It's constricting my king. My king is perfectly safe back here. Even though I literally can't move. He can't get around here to get to me or anything. So that was a bad move. And I don't think he was expecting me. Like, it's probably hard to see this knight c4 move, which is going to do a double attack on its own. But now that we have our rook up here, man, we're looking really good, fellas. We're looking really good. I'm overdue for a win on Rapid because I've been losing my slower format type of games for a while now. So this will feel very nice if we can convert this into a win. This will feel really nice if we can convert this into a win. Yeah, we're doing a very short stream today, fellas. We have, not only because, most because I have a Steelers game to watch. So I might hop off. The game starts like 8:15, but I'll probably hop off around 7. Help put the kids to bed, that sort of thing, and then get ready for the game. But I definitely wanted to make sure I got a nice fun chess session and share it with you guys tonight. Jesus says, hi, hola, saludos desde Calician, Sinaloa, Mexico. I don't speak Spanish. I would love to be able to speak Spanish, but I don't. But, hola, señor. Como te amo desayuno. Muy desayuno. My name is Big Breakfast. We do have after this game, fellas, we do have a viewer submission, a viewer game against the one and only growing a Bloxy farm. So that will be next. Wow, rook over, huh? Okay, that's not. So not only is he attacking this, he's also kind of defending that, but it's not going to be enough. And I'm not going to just like move my knight now and just let him take that. Even though, yeah, no, I think the obvious play is just to push this pawn, right? Let's just not be silly. Let's not give up anything. We have a pretty solid position, unless we have some other like astronomical move. Don't really think so. I'm not gonna waste too much time trying to find another move. Okay, interesting. We simply can check. He moves up, and then this is looking very dangerous for white. I want to find the proper attack. If we take and he takes, I know we have this knight move, which would put him in check. Then we have 2 attackers on this pawn again. We can slowly take some more stuff, but surely there's a better way of going about this. Keeping the rooks, keeping the pressure, put him in check. He has to go up. Maybe the idea would be to push this pawn to take away this square. And this knight's taking away that square, and if we can reroute our other rook around, force a checkmate or something. But we are up material, so the idea of just trading down pieces is nice, but my rook is better than his rook here. And there's also this idea he would just drop his rook back as well. But if I take and take, is there a different idea? No. Not really any more forking ideas or anything. So maybe we do just simply take. Or we could come down here and threaten to gobble up this rear pawn. It's easily defended, but if he like makes something like he defends the pawn with a rook move like that, well then I could go back, put him in check. He might mistakenly bring his rook back as well, and then, well, I was trying to say we have a fork. If I can draw arrows, I can't, but we don't because his other rook is here, so. I think we'll just take. We do get 10 seconds back for every move, so I think we're fine time-wise. We do have this check, and we do have this check. But I think we want to push some pawns. I think we want to push some pawns. Yeah, we have this nice long bishop. All we have to do is release the power with a knight move. Bring my knight here. That might have been better because I'd fork him, his king and his pawn. That might have been so much better, honestly, than that. But at least right now he has to react. He might come back here now and defend this pawn because he probably sees this. Wait, no, I don't have that move because of his rook. So don't listen to me, fellas. Do not listen to me. Okay, I think we just push sort of deal. Let's try it. His pawn, this might as well be just a black pawn because it feels like it's my pawn. It's his pawn, but he does not like this pawn. It has not been helpful for him. It's been more helpful to me than it has been him. I'm sure we'll see some sort of pawn push of whatever kind. Okay, I think we just put past it. I think we just passed the pawn, fellas. I think we just passed the pawn. And then maybe we start pushing this pawn as well. We have our rook defending that, which is nice. There's an idea to push this pawn. That way we can get our knight up and around, and we could get our other bishop up and around as well. But let's push this pawn next. And we get 10 seconds back for every move, so we're chilling on the time. I know we're down to a minute and have some time pressure, but 10 seconds back after every move is gonna save us here. Once we take care of this pawn, it'll open up the square once again for our knight. But, he might not take. He probably shouldn't because I would take back with the rook and be ready to take his other pawn. If I do this, I'll likely have to be the one that takes and he'll take back. But that is also bad for him because then I get to swoop my rook in the back rank on the 7th rank of his. So it's kind of looking nice for us. Yeah, we're streaming both vertically and horizontally. We have a dual stream going on, guys. But when it comes to chess, the chess looks really good on the vertical stream. I definitely like how it looks on the vertical instead of the horizontal. But, okay, let's push this pawn. That, I mean, that was a nothing move. I don't really think it helps or does anything for him. Just now noticed our bishops are opposite colored. I guess I kind of knew that instinctually because, you know, I never thought of a way to trade bishops, mostly because of that. So that feels bad because he just now freed up my knight to go on a different square. I figure he would never take on this, but we're going to take anyways. And then when he takes, boom, look at that. That's a really, oh, he takes with the, okay, that makes a lot more sense. If it was me, I would have messed up and took the wrong way. So, we might go here or here to start prepping. How do we do that? Or we go here and then here and threaten both of these pieces. Let's try that. Let's go here and then here, threaten these pieces. If we go here and then there and put them in check, That would have been really good because the only legal square he could go to is this one. Because my knight, if it was here, would guard this square. My pawn guards that square. This pawn guards that square. My rook guards this square. He would only be able to escape from there. We'll definitely review this game after the fact. I would like to know from this position which square the knight should. What would the best move at this position be? Maybe we chose wrong, but the idea with this one, at the very least, is I have this move to threaten both. And the best part about this is he doesn't have this rook move here to defend me from coming here, because I would just then go there and take his rook. My bishop is now fully activated. It's guarding this pawn. Okay, now I see why this is also the better move. It's defending my pawn here. So if I had gone the other way, wouldn't have worked out. We do have a check here. Oh, man. But again, he gets to escape out. He gets to escape either way. How do we want to do this, fellas? I think we harass. Let's just harass the. We're giving up. Not really. I want to harass these two guys. He can't take because he hangs his rook. Now, do we just take the pawn, like trade pawn for pawn? Probably not. Let's just go back, harass the rook again. If I come up here and check, I'd like him to walk out, but he should come down here so that if I ever move my rook, he can snag. Let's go ahead and take the check. I have a check from the knight coming up, regardless of which way he goes, because he has to go to a diagonal square of my knight. Ooh, and now we have a fork. What a move! What a move! We should get the FF now, I imagine. We should get the FF now. Wow, what a game. What a game. What a game. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Growing a Bloxy farm. You're next, but I want to review this game real quickly, see how we did. See how we performed. Wow, fellas. I actually performed at a 2150 rated level, and our opponent performed at a 1900 rated level. So we were actually playing some quality chess, even though traditionally I don't play quality chess on stream. Alright, so apparently I had a missed win. So I have two attackers, he has two defenders. Oh, but the idea is my two attackers are worth less than his initial defender. So which one do I take first? Do I take with the bishop first? So this is a good move, so I'm guessing that this was the best. Yeah. So essentially that is a free pawn because he would never take back. Boom, boom, boom. Sometimes my calculations typically, so when you're looking at a key square and seeing who is in favor, the defender, if you have the same amount of pieces defending a piece as the attacker is attacking, then it goes in favor of the defender. So I just saw that I had 2 versus his 2, and since I'd be attacking, he's the defender, and it'd be in his favor. However, I didn't take time to consider, wait a second, but his first piece attacking is a queen, and he's not going to capture back. He's not going to give me a queen for a bishop or a knight, so that's on me. And that's not the first time I've done that. Blunder. So that pawn that you saw that was hanging out the entire game and that said it was practically my pawn and not his, that's a good reason why. Because it's just nice and safe. And now we're clearly winning because we're up a piece. And then we just played solid moves. I mean, nothing. Yeah. It was all good. I'm really surprised he didn't go for this. But, yeah. Would I have found just pawn push, actually? Because I was so focused on the idea, I'd probably just fork him. You know, which isn't really a fork because then this, and then I don't get to actually. Do I get to? Oh, he can't go there because of my bishop. So I would have won this game because I miscalculated, but it didn't really matter. Yeah. At this point, I saw that he can only go to one of these squares that's diagonal to my knight. And if a piece is diagonal to your knight, then you have different ways of, you know, coming back, attacking on the next move. And honestly, I didn't calculate if I had a fork after he moved his king, but yeah, I had a fork after he moved his king. But man, I was so focused on the idea of putting him in check with my knight that I don't think I would have seen this. Ooh, and it's not even so obvious. Would I be able to? Oh yeah, then yeah, I could definitely I could do this. And this would be it. This would be a-okay. Like we would find a way to win, even though that's not the best way to win. Very solid game. It's been a while since I've won a slow format game like that, so that feels good. That feels good for me. All right, Mr. Growing, Mr. Bloxy. What you said your username is Planet Lord 3000. Let me see if I can find you real quick, and we'll get you in here. Planet Lord 3000. Planet Lord 3000. Boom. Add you as a friend. If you accept that request, we can get a game going. If you don't mind, I'd love to do a little blitz game. Make it a little quicker. Maybe like a 3-2. Let's do a little 3-2 action. Assuming you're still here. If not, I'm going to play another blitz game. And if you just send me a challenge when you're ready, but I'm going to go ahead, keep the stream going. Keep moving, playing some more games. But these will be blitz games, so it'll be much quicker. I'm not playing another slow game. That feels good to grab a nice slow win though. It feels really good. Feels really good. See if I can lock in and win. I never know if I just want to push once or twice, but pushing once seems fine. And then I'll take that. Move my knight. Move my pawn, and then develop my last minor piece here. Not sure where I want to develop it to. Let's do this, and then we can castle kingside. Could be an argument to castle queenside. Have the rook on a half open file. That could be cool. That could be cool for us. Thank you, Jesus. Good game. Buen Hiago. I'd love to learn Spanish. I would so love to be able to speak Spanish. Okay, yeah, let's just castle. I bet he's so tempted to take right now. Which it probably would work. Because he has so many pieces on this side. I bet he's tempted to take. And that would be pretty bad for me. But honestly, I'll take the piece. Again, I like for them to prove it. So go ahead and prove it. Once you sack your bishop, prove it. It probably works. I do feel pretty bad castling on the king side here. But let's provide him an opportunity to prove why that bishop sacrifice would be a good move. And he doesn't take it, which makes me feel better. Let's take. And then we can't push because then he just gets the pawn, because the only thing that was defending the pawn was the pawn that we would just have moved. Let's harass the queen. And then let's start pushing over here. Wow, so he wants to open up this file and get a gnarly thing going. He wants to get a gnarly thing going. I can't move the knight because it's guarding a mate in 1. Yeah, so we just kind of have to hang out there, and we have to move our other pieces around, do something else here. Let's move this rook so we can, like, clear this central area up. Cool, cool. Yeah, I think I'm cool with taking away that attack. And now we can do this. Even though I only have 1 defender and he has 2 attackers, we learned last game why I have to double check what's being defended and what's being attacked. He wouldn't want to take there. But he does want to take there, obviously. I'm cool with offering a trade of queens. I think an offer a trade of queens would be really good for me, even though it doubles up my pawns. But now he has, like, he's lost all the pressure that he was building up towards, and now it's all gone. So I feel much better. Let's push this pawn. I don't want to have to be defending this pawn the entire time, so let's push it. We have 2 defenders, and he has 2 attackers, and I'm down to clown here. Maybe we go back this way. Now he'd be more hesitant to move his rook out yet, but he can just defend the pawn with the pawn push. Yeah. And then we'll size up that bishop for a second. Fortunately, our bishops are same colored, but he has a much better pawn structure on the queen side than I do, so doubt we'll be able to convert this, but maybe we can trade bishops and fight for a draw. Maybe we can fight for a draw. Now that his rook has to defend the pawn there, we can get our king more activated, and in the fight, actually I'm gonna swing by here and then, like, size up some attacks. If he wants to swing by down and try to take my pawns, that is fine. But I think we're gonna go ahead, move up again. Oh, and I just trapped my rook. No, I didn't. I can defend. I almost thought I thought I had blundered my rook, hung my rook rather, but this is fine. Fortunately, my king can defend the rook. And we're gonna want to put him in check. Then we can grab a draw. We'll grab a draw here. I mean, I have a worse position. I don't really want to... Wow, that's a mistake if I've ever seen one. Okay, maybe we're fighting for the win now, fellas. Maybe we're fighting for the win now, fellas. I think this is just a good move. Yeah, he has check, but then I take a pawn. And then we might be able to figure something out here, fellas. Setting up mate right now. He has his check, but then I'll take a pawn. We do have 2 seconds of incremental time, so we shouldn't lose on time if we just keep making moves at a decent pace. And now I'm looking to take more pawns. So we were pretty happy about just getting a draw, but now we're just going... We might win now. We very well might win. We very well might win. You can't defend both of these. Oh, I think we're just winning, fellas. This is a win. This is a win if I've ever seen it. This is a win if I've ever seen one. Yeah. Wow. I can't believe we actually win this game. This should have been a draw. And he actually can't even walk over there to grab that pawn because these pawns are doing some amazing work. And we get to just promote. It doesn't matter because when we promote on check. How do we want to do this? Boom. I mean, I almost lost that. I'm not gonna lie. I did kind of fluff that up at the end. But it's okie dokie. Artichoke. Wow, we play at an 1800 rated level. We play at an 1800 rated level. That's nice for us. Looks like we played a very solid opening. And looks like we defended well in that attack. Wow, that pawn push was actually pretty bad, apparently. Yeah, because it does give up that. Wow. So I had a missed win, apparently. Apparently not pushing this pawn was a missed win. Well, that's kind of silly, but okay. Oops. Let's keep going. So he does... I do kind of slip, but yeah, we were losing. At this point, we were saying that we were going for a draw at this point. Just going for a draw. But then, once I get my king here, and he moves around a little bit, once he put his king back there, I was then convinced that we actually might be going for a win here. Because then we start gobbling these pawns. Even though I made a mistake or two, yeah. Taking the rook, trading the rooks. And then here, I probably didn't play this the best way. I'd like to improve on this. But yeah, we're completely winning, but we should have been able to win better. Blunder, okay. So we would want to take here, huh? Then what's the idea? See, I wasn't even looking at this side, honestly. I was still looking at like, oh wow, I need to waste 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 moves to get promoted, but really I have this pass pawn that would only take 3 moves. So that's what I was worried about. I don't know why I was like not aware that I should be pushing this pawn at this point, but hey, we were still able to win. But it's a a slight advantage for us, but we likely just be a draw because he should have been able to maybe convert this or whatever into a draw. But I mean I ended up moving that pawn anyways, but again, I should have done it like a move or two sooner. Wow, good games. I'm actually winning games tonight instead of losing them like I usually do. Real quick, is Bloxy, is he in here? He was supposed to... He had the next game. Haven't heard from him yet, so we'll keep going. We'll do another 3-2. Let's keep the grind going, fellas. Keep the grind going. We have probably another half hour-ish before I hop off and start getting ready for my good old Steelers game. I feel like I'm supposed to take this. I feel like I'm supposed to take that. and then he blunders. Wow. Or he doesn't blunder. Okay. He still gets to keep his piece. Uh-huh. Okay. So this is a pretty standard part of the Petrov defense. Better might have been to defense I could take back, but hey, I'm down to trade some queens here. Can you play against me? Asks Amadou. Yeah, absolutely, of course. Yeah, send me a challenge. My username is Big Breakfast. I've shared it in the chat before. I'll resend it here shortly. Add Big Breakfast on chess.com and we'll get you your next in line. We'll get you next. So I had to lean over and see if I could read your name properly. Is it a phrase? A made us live Enovich. Perfect. I appreciate that. Absolutely. We'll get it going. Please just make it a blitz game. I'm trying to do these 3-2s. I'm on that 3-2 grind. Keep it nice and sweet. Nice, sweet and simple. If you're okay with that, that'd be appreciated. Let's go ahead and defend this pawn. I don't really want to take and then have us have like, well, I guess it's not exactly opposite colored bishop because he has the bishop pair. I'll keep a hold of the bishop pair. Nice. Thank you. Blitzes. That's my man. Let's go. I think we'll move this rook over here, and then we can offer a trade of knights. He does not have this fork. Could we just take? He wants my bishop, does he? He wants my bishop, does he? Not today. Not today. I have no problem with rerouting my bishop here and have it defended by the pawn. If I go here, and then he's going to kick me again. I go here, and then he's going to take it with an... But we can take the knight and then take that pawn. Let's do that, fellas. If he mistakenly takes the bishop, then we get a bishop. You should just take, because then he's going to be threatening that. Oof. I have to make sure I calculate this carefully. Yeah, that's probably the good move. That's probably the good way to not have to consider how I want to... Wow, so I end up being... So this is actually bad for me, but I can get out of it by threatening to take, but that's wild. I actually had a bad idea. Fortunately, we get to get out of it, but still, how did I miscalculate that? Come up. Yeah, so actually I miscalculated, but fortunately we have this get out of jail free card that we get to cash in. Do we do unrated or rated? You can do either. I kind of used to like just doing the unrated to protect my fragile little ego, but no, I have no problem gifting my ELO ratings to the viewers, so feel free to make it rated if you're up for the challenge. Yeah, absolutely make it rated if you'd like. Nice, and I got the friend request. Very nice. We'll be looking for that. Let's go ahead and attack a couple pieces here. Nice. I think we'll just take and then we'll be up a pawn. And then he has some pretty bad pawns. We're looking good, fellas. We're looking good. I like this. I like this a lot. We can double up our rooks if he wants to trade, and then we get to trade back and have a better rook than him. We have to be mindful of back rank mates, maybe, possibly, eventually. I'm kind of getting on the 7th rank, but we should probably double up our rooks here first. Now he can't move over. And we have the idea of taking some pawns now. Shoot. Shoot, shoot, shoot. Don't like that, fellas. Do not like that. Take some pawns, take some pawns. And then maybe I'll just put both my rooks on the 7th rank. Realistically, he should put his rook over and then beat me. Yeah. Very solid, very solid. Now we have like a little ladder mate coming back to him if he doesn't figure this out. Okay. Okie dokie. Artichoke. He does have a check here now that it's defended, but I just get to walk out. Get 2 seconds back on every move, so we're chilling. Now we can also threaten a cheeky mate. We have mate in 1 if he ever misses it. He should probably push this pawn. Okay. And this might be a draw. Oof. You might lose on time. Wow. What a game. All right. I'm made. Let's get after it. Boom. Accepted your friend request. Going to hit me up with a challenge. I'm going to review this game real quick and then we got into our second. Wow, we both played at like a 1950. He played at a 2100 rated level, so he should have won. Played with a 90% accuracy to my measly 85.6. But what a game. We'll just play through the review here real quick, just for instructions. I missed a win there. Oh yeah, I missed the... Yeah, I missed... I mean, why is this a... Oh yeah, because then that would be the actual way to get out of this sort of thing. Okay. And my rook moves were all mistakes, essentially, there. Yeah. And then, yeah, it's just looking very drawish. And so we should have been a draw, but I actually might have gave up a win here. Yeah, so He actually had a win at this point, but just failed, cracked under time pressure. So I am a-okay with that. Let me see if I can find your... I don't know why the challenges go away. So did you want that rated or unrated? I'll send you a challenge as well, because my challenge, I missed it. Alright. Oh, I guess I'm white, so I have to move first. This might be I think this is the first viewer game in the night, fellas. First viewer game of the night. We were supposed to have one earlier, but I was playing a slower format game, and so I think by the time I was done with the game, he must have hopped off. So I feel bad for that, but that's all right. We get to make up for it now. We get to make up for it now. Let's see. Let's just match that pawn push with our own. I always forget to just match that. This is kind of bad. This is kind of bad. I'm losing, fellas. I'm losing. At least we have a passed pawn. It only cost us a minor piece. Our viewer is humbling me in front of everyone. In front of everyone. We will defend it this way. Bum, bum. Okie dokie. What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? What are we going to do? I guess let's go here. I'm sure we had a better move, but oh well. Sure we had a better move, but oh well. Alright, we might be back in this game, fellas. We might be back. We might be back. It's a big might. Big might. Now we just don't have to... We have to not hang our queen. We have to not hang our queen. Dude, you guys are really good. This is a viewer in the chat, fellas, and they are pretty good. Be careful if they ever challenge you to a game. Maybe we can start pushing our pawn. Maybe we can start pushing it again. Maybe. Not sure what my idea is here. I like how our pawns are on the opposite, like right behind each other. That's pretty funny. Might have to be careful about like a pawn push here. That could be annoying. I think I'm fine with him taking that pawn, honestly. I think I'm fine with that, but I probably shouldn't allow it. So let's not allow it. Let's not allow that pawn take. Sometimes I get really loosey-goosey and let people just take small advantages like that, and I pay for it. Not today. I think we're gonna try to play solid chess. Playing a 3-2, so we do have increments on this. Get 2 seconds back for every move. That's kind of like a nothing move, honestly. Which I am A-okay. A-okay with. Kind of had an idea here, but it's not going to work. Just gonna hide behind their pawn for a bit until they start suffocating me. Okay, I don't think I'm interested in trading queens now, so I'm not gonna. I am not gonna. Oof. Good move. Good move, fellas. That is GG right there if I've ever seen it. Wow. Wow. GG's. Well done. Well done. I believe that's just practically mate. Practically mate. Well done. Well done. Very nicely done. Viewer, that's a mod. Does a live in the I don't know how to pronounce that. I don't know what I'm looking at really. Nicely done, nicely done. Well-deserved victory. Very well-deserved. Yeah, absolutely. We can definitely do a rematch. Absolutely, we can do a rematch. 100%. Bum 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 bum. Do do do. There it is. There it is. All right, rematch in the house. Second viewer game, fellas. Second viewer game. We'll go with our little modern opening that we like to do. Nice little modern defense. King's Indian. Okay. King's Indian defense. Sometimes it's a modern defense. Whatever. 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 Bum, 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 bum. Do, 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 do. I guess we'll snag. We'll snag. We'll snag, snag, snag. We'll snag-a-roo. Snag it up. What's up? I love Animal Blocks in the chat. What's going on, buddy? Nice to see you again. Very nice to see you again. Not much. We're just playing some chess. You know me. You know me. How was your day? What'd you do? Do anything exciting? Do anything out of the usual, out of the ordinary? How was school? The third 9 weeks is coming around the corner, I'm sure. Third 9 weeks. I actually might be down to trade all these pieces off, but we might as well just do our own thing. Let's do our own thing. Let's do our own thing. Oof, you figured out you might have diabetes? I'm sorry to hear that, buddy. What type? Type 1, type 2? I guess if you're finding out that you might have it, is that type 2 or type 3? I have that kind of backwards. I don't know the different levels. I know one you're born with, one you can develop. A lot of people, when they grow old, drink beer, and get fat, they can develop it. Type 2? Okay. Type 2. I'm sorry to hear that. Hopefully that's something that can be avoided with just a fairly decent diet. Maybe. Thoughts and prayers, buddy. Thoughts and prayers. Thoughts and prayers. We'll figure it out. We'll take back. Then finally line up some sort of attack or something. We can't do that because this queen's still guarding that square. But it's not guarding that square now. Well, I gotta go. See ya. Have a nice one, buddy. Be praying for you. I need to win this to heal the hole that I have inside my heart from being humiliated by a viewer in front of all of you. No, I'm just kidding. No, this is good. They are a really good player. Very good. Very, very good. Very, very good. Let's go ahead and take that. And let's go ahead and get a nice little attacky tack. I want to move my queen over, but I don't want to give up this pawn either. When do we give up the pawn? Kind of want to hold on to the. Kind of want to hold on to that. Or maybe I don't want to hold on to that. Maybe we do something like this. Let's try it. What does this do? You can take that pawn now if you'd like. Trade the queens off. But I'd get the pawn back eventually because I have 2 attacking pieces there. Maybe even gobble up that one as well. So it's not very exactly clear. It's not exactly clear. So yeah, we'll take that. We'll take that trade. And we get the capture back on check and then gobble up that pawn as well. I think this is fine. Oh, nope. Just kidding. We'll take this pawn though. Maybe we don't take the pawn. We just drop back and defend this pawn. This pawn seems like it's more dangerous, but we'll take some pawns. We'll take some pawns because then he takes that pawn. We take this pawn, and we have a pass pawn on the A file. Plus, we can take this pawn unless he defends it. He does defend it. Do we have a check first? Do we want to check first? Probably not. Probably not. Let's just go ahead and let's start marching this pawn up. Let's start marching this pawn up. And then we'll just get out of check. We do have a check and gobbling up that pawn as well. So let's do that. No, we don't. Okay. I want to get my rook. Is there an argument to just go here and then trade and get my pawn off the corner? I don't know. I do not know. I think we have to just take. And then let's Let's make an attack. Let's make an attack. Ooh, let's do that. And then promote our pawn. That's a nice little tactic to find. GG. Thanks so much for the rematch. The three-peat. We're going for a third game with the same viewer. Let's go. Okay, this is a tiebreaker. Tiebreaker. We seem to both be winning with the black pieces, so looks like it's their turn to win again. I'm sure we'll figure something out, though. Let's figure something out. I want to try this idea. Well, now I don't. But now I do. Now I don't. Kind of annoying. Do I have to do this? We'll take, and then we'll take that pawn as well. Do we take it with check, though, with the rook? No, I think we take it with the knight, because then we have a discovered attack. Well, we did have a discovered attack. Not anymore. I want to double up some power here, but I also really want this move. What is better? What is better? We'll play solid here, I think. Maybe bring out the bishop. Let's just drop it back. Let's keep the pressure. Okay. Is there a world where I just sack this up? Probably not. Oh, it is 7 o'clock. This does have to be the last game, I believe. Yeah, this will be the last game of the stream, fellas. I did say 7 was my cutoff, and time flies when you're having fun. But hey, thanks for everyone who swung by to hang out. Usually I stream a little bit later and for a little bit longer, but I have a Steelers game. I want to go out and watch it with the fellas, so I might have to leave you guys early. Fortunately, my boss is super cool, gave me a day off tomorrow. I was able to request off, and so I'll actually be able to stay up and watch the entire game, because I go to work pretty early. And oh man, this will be fun. This will be fun. Okay, how do I get out of this? Let's do let's go here so I can still reroute my knight if I'd like, but I don't like that. Maybe I should go on there and reroute my knight a different way. That's a pretty decent move. That's a pretty decent move. We take back with the bishop or the pawn? Probably the bishop. Actually, maybe the pawn. Actually, let's take back with the pawn, fella. Let's do the bishop. Let's trade off some pieces, whatever. Maybe the pawn. I don't know. That'd be an interesting thing to find out. Let's just take with the, I don't think yeah, maybe we do. Let's take with the pawn. We'll keep our rook. I kind of like the idea of trading off the rooks and then bringing over our rook to replace that, but this might be a-okay. Maybe I'll swoop in, offer a trade of queens, and probably not though. Okay. He wants that pawn. I need to find a way to get this. His pawn's actually doing some great work. His pawn's doing some great work. Let's go here and threaten to gobble up some goodness, and also find a way to get our knight involved. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna take us forever, but look at that S pattern with the knight. With that S pattern of the knight. Okay. Let's start getting our knight involved. Yeah. Yeah. And then we can threaten a nice little attacky tack. Doesn't really do anything for him. I still get to do what I want to do. Yeah, I don't think his queen doesn't get to come up here in time. Funny enough, if he like moved his rook there, it'd be mate in 1. That'd be super funny, but it doesn't fall for that. Ooh, we could take eventually. Let's take this first, and then, oh, that might be mate. Very nice. Very nicely done. So I just need a little warm-up. But thank you so much for the game. Thank you so much for the games. Yeah, you're a really good player. Very nicely done. Very nicely done. Fellas. Thank you so much for hanging out tonight. I like to say I'm not a professional streamer. I'm just a guy who games a lot, and I have some video editing skills, so I just kind of derp around with it. I'm trying to justify my love of gaming at my age, so I'm like, let me be a little bit more proactive with it and try to just spread the love a little bit. So we're just a chill vibe. If you guys like hanging out with us, please hit that subscribe button. My goal with the channel is to hit 1,000 subscribers, because once you hit 1,000 subscribers, you can be like, you can apply to be a YouTube partner. So that's the biggest goal we have with the channel at the moment. If you want to be a part of that movement with me, I appreciate your support. But I will see you guys maybe tomorrow. I have a nice big ski trip coming up, so I won't be streaming or anything throughout the weekend or later this week, but tomorrow I have a day off, so I'm hoping to pump out some more content on the YouTube shorts, like chess games and chess puzzles, that sort of thing. So I usually post a short 6 p.m. in the evenings, and sometimes I do 6 a.m. as well for a double upload. So if you want some more of that, be part of the group, I encourage you to do so. And if not, I'll see you back here maybe tomorrow. All right, peace, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you. See you now.